Hello everyone, glad to see you. For the past weeks I've been just on and off trying to film videos. I haven't been able to. Okay, no negative vibes. This is exactly what I'm coming to talk to you about today. So this is going to be quite random, but it's just something that I've noticed and I wanted to address it, and I wanted to give you like a friendly reminder of something that I have become aware of. So recently, a few weeks ago, I kind of have started to notice very vividly how much negativity there is out there that people say about their own selves. You know, it's not like people hate on other people. That happens, of course, and it's horrible. But let's talk about how people hate their own selves and how incredibly destructive that is. I've started to notice everywhere, in both in internet and in real life, how people disrespect their own selves. They put negative labels on themselves and live according to those labels, according to those stories, which literally make them sit in that cage of theirs and not come out of it and not be free and happy. And then also people just tell such horrible things about themselves and the environment that they are surrounded by. Of course you attract negative things because you only speak about negative things. You're always just doubting yourself and the world and the good things and the good people, and you're always believing the bad things that are deeply destructive to you and to other people. So why would you do so? I just want to make you aware of that. Like, I'm here for this. You'll do the thinking, I'll do the talking because I've already done the thinking. You can always see on internet all of these quotes like, oh, I'm feeling dead inside. You might have seen phrases where people envy other people openly, which is not a bad thing to do it openly, because like you can envy someone in a good way, like just, you know, look up to them. That's one thing. But another thing is like hating on yourself because you perceive someone else as like the ideal that you cannot live up to because you're just different, you know, and that's super destructive. I just want you to become aware of your thoughts, because I want to tell you something. Like, your thoughts really create your reality, and I've tried it. I've been proving it to myself, and I've been observing people around me and how they live their lives, how they speak about themselves, about people around them, about everything, and how people react to the 3D, you know, the world around them, and how people around me react to happenings. And I've come to realize that of course people attract negative things because they always live in negativity. They kind of ruminate about the same negative concepts that are stuck in their head. I was in that mental space before, so I totally get it, that it's very difficult to get out of it. I also understand that it can be very frustrating, and you can be in such a mental place if you're depressed, for example, or if you have anxiety, like heavy anxiety. If you have a lot of stress in your life, of course it's so difficult to come out of it and try to calm down and have the energy and the time to just reprogram yourself. But you have to try to do it once and for all, because otherwise you will spend your entire life, the rest of your life, not noticing how destructive you yourself affect your own self. You have to try to reprogram what you think about yourself. And you know, it is easier said than done, of course, but I've done it myself because I was severely depressed for many years. I had emotional roller coasters, ups and downs all the time, but I've kind of pulled myself out of those negative states of mind when I thought that things couldn't get any worse. When I was so shocked about everything that was happening in the world, everything that was happening to me, to my family, that was when I kind of thought, okay, if that's the misery that I was gonna live in for a very long time, I might as well try to just accept it and do something about it from within it, and try to learn how it functions to kind of make my life bearable. And what ended up happening after months, the universe has started to give me like signs and hints of what I could do and how I could turn my perspective upside down and therefore turn my life upside down. and I see how my life is changing. Not many things have changed around me, but my perspective has changed so much that I've instantly become much happier and much more radiant, and I've started to just be generally in much better mental spaces, and therefore I've been able to see good things and attract good things. And then also, coming from that good mental place, I started to notice how people around me, most people around me, and not only around me, just in general in the world, were just always in such doubt and in such dark mental spaces and in such hatred towards themselves, that I just thought, of course you can't attract good things, of course you feel miserable, of course you feel depressed, because you don't even notice how you aggravate your own bad state even more with what you say, because your thoughts create your reality. And therefore, if you think badly about yourself, these thoughts create feelings, and feelings create a physical reality. The physical reality then creates even more feelings and even more thoughts, and it kind of, you know, it becomes a loop which you live in and according to, and then you get stuck in there. But you can come out of there. If you constantly on a loop think bad thoughts about yourself, you can as well change that. You can come out of it, because I did. And I notice how people even react to me differently, because I see myself differently, although I haven't really changed. Like, my appearance hasn't changed. My mental capacity hasn't changed. My abilities haven't changed. Nothing. Not my circumstances, not my financial situation, nothing. It's just that I've started to notice my own thoughts, and it's so powerful. Starting to notice your own thoughts and what you think about constantly and what you loop in your head, and trying to change those negative thoughts that you spot into a positive place. It is so life-changing. But how do you do that, right? From my personal experience, first thing that might really help you, and that has helped me immensely, is trying to watch YouTube videos of people who are already on such a high vibe, who already have such a satisfactory lifestyle that inspires you. You see that those people are happy, and you will kind of, you know, you'll subconsciously try to imitate the way these people act, the way these people think and speak. And I really suggest that you do that, that you find people who speak about inspiring things. As often as you can, listen to those people who repeat good words so much, who say out loud positive affirmations so much, that you kind of get reprogrammed very easily into also thinking like them, also having those thoughts. And also, what you can try to do, what I really recommend, is just affirm at first, instead of making like super difficult mental exercises and trying to change your life from the outside, trying to change your body, your I don't know, circumstances, your lifestyle, anything. No, first thing first, try to affirm positive things about yourself, even when you still don't believe in them. It doesn't matter. At some point you will start to live according to those affirmations, and for everyone it's different, because you might need one thing and I might need another one. You might see one thing as a good thing, I might see a different one. But there are some things that are very general. Perhaps, like, you know, you can help yourself just by saying, I'm happy, I'm feeling great, I'm so energized, I am confident, I believe in myself, of course I'm successful, of course, because it can't be any other way. I attract people, I'm radiant, I am a ray of light in everyone's life. People want me in their life, they need me in their life. And when you repeat those things, when you just start randomly thinking those thoughts, just when you're in the shower, when you're cooking, when you're, I don't know, when you're doing something, doing your chores, doing your laundry, I don't know, when you go out for a walk, when you're ruminating about just random thoughts, instead of doing that, try to focus on your thoughts. Try to kind of get into your head and say, no, stop. I know that I've had negative feelings before and I've had negative thoughts before, but now let me just observe my thoughts as if they were clouds passing through this space which I'm living in, through my energy field, let's say, and let me just notice that and try to change it into something different. Let me just, you know, not get it seriously, because we people tend to perceive negative things, like criticism, negative thoughts about ourselves and all of that, as the truth, and we tend to believe in that very easily, when we don't really believe that much in the positive things. Like when someone compliments you, you still, like, nothing sparks in your brain so heavily and so strongly as if someone had criticized you and called you, I don't know, some severe things. Just remember that. But understand, I want you to understand, and I want you to believe in something, because I have believed in it and it really does work this way. Believe in the fact that actually positive thoughts are just as easy to think as negative thoughts, because actually your brain and your quantum field and God and universe, whatever you believe in, whatever you want to call it, none of this believes in negative and positive. It's, you know, that duality is created by mankind. It's created by us. We perceive things as black and white, but the universe doesn't attribute negativity or positivity to thoughts. So it doesn't matter what you think about, you will attract it anyways. You will become what you think, no matter how you feel about it. So the only thing that really matters, kind of, but again, it's my belief. You might have different beliefs and it might work better for you. What I believe in is that when we have very strong emotions attached to some thoughts, and when we repeat some thoughts many times, those are the thoughts that really affect us and affect our life. If you just once in a blue moon have one negative thought and you just kind of, you know, you don't notice it, and you just go, oh, okay, that was some intrusive thought, and, you know, doesn't matter, and you just let it go, that thought won't really affect you. So you need to make all of your negative thoughts become those intrusive thoughts, and you need to make the majority of your thoughts positive. You need to make the majority of your thoughts occupied with affirmations that really resonate with something that you see as positive. So if, for example, you really want to improve your mental state, your psychological state, your relationships with people, and the way you feel, again, you might want to say, I'm energized, I'm loved, I am love, I am amazing, I'm attractive, people love me, people understand me, people accept me. And you just need to loop those thoughts, like, all the time. Because while I was thinking that I was always tired, I was so not energized at all, I didn't have time for anything, people hated me, people would always continue bullying me because they did in school or whatever, when I thought those things really kept, like, persisting in my reality, and I kept living according to that. But once I stopped and I just paused and I said, no, I don't want to live in that reality. I don't want people to get angry with me out of nowhere. I don't want people to get mad at me. I don't want people to be upset because of me. I don't want my family to deteriorate. I don't want to cause negative emotions in people, and I don't want people to hate me and to react negatively to me. I don't want to lose friends. I want to live happily. I want to have good people around me. I want to have people who really appreciate me the way I am naturally, without pretending, without putting any masks on, just being myself. I want people to appreciate me. I want people to love me. I want people to just see me as I see myself. And here it came to me. I want people to see me as I see myself. And then I went into my head and I was like, what do I think about myself? And at that time, I realized that I actually hated myself as much as other people hated me. That I said bad things about myself as much as other people would say bad things about me. And I always, you know, I was just persisting on the bad stuff when I wanted to change. And of course that didn't work. So I was basically creating the reality that I didn't want to live in, just by really reacting to my own self and my own life the way people reacted to it. And I was like, okay, so if I have literally noticed how I'm just a mirror, that people around me are just my mirrors, and the reality around me is just a mirror of me and my inner state, I need to start with myself. I need to change the way I think about myself. And I just made a huge effort to, for as long as I could, first of all, listen to people who would say positive things. I found a whole ton of manifesting channels. I found a whole ton of people living like inspiring lifestyles, creating things, being the best version of themselves without being like constantly, you know, pushing themselves harder and harder, and without being violent towards their own selves. No, I mean people who just naturally are in that state of being where they just flow through life, and they feel happy, and they create, and they do what I would like to do, and they look the way I would like to do. I just found a whole ton of amazing people on Instagram, on YouTube, on everywhere, and I started just, you know, immersing myself into that, immersing myself into the pictures of the life that I wanted to live. And I also, after I kind of connected to that, you know, I kind of plugged into that vibration of those people that have already manifested what they wanted to manifest, of people who already have very good self-concepts, of people who already perceive themselves and the world as something super amazing, super positive, that brings satisfaction, happiness and joy. I plugged into that, and things already started changing so much for me, because I started to see everything in a different light. And when I started to see things in a different light, I was like, now I think like I'm finally prepared to change my thought patterns. And what I started doing then, I was like, okay, I'm just going to take it easy, and I'm going to try to affirm, just, you know, when thoughts come into my mind, when I have like free mental space. So when I was, I don't know, again, like doing my chores, taking a shower, going to walks, anything, even when I was talking to people, I would just try to insert positive affirmations into those dialogues. I would say good things about the world and about myself and about those people, of course, in those dialogues, in those conversations. And what started to happen is that people all around me, even here on internet, even here on YouTube, people have started to say like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're so amazing. You have such an amazing vibe. You're so radiant. You're so beautiful. You're so joyous. You're so, you inspire me. You inspire people. I needed you in my life. People have literally started, you know, texting me. People who haven't texted me in years texted me. People who literally kind of didn't mind me started to see me as like an amazing friend, an amazing person, an amazing artist, creator, whatever I want to be, whatever I affirmed. And that keeps happening. And of course, sometimes negative, traumatic things happen in life, and you might kind of have a low, but it's okay. Of course it's okay, because we're not perfect. We all have ups and downs. It's fine. You just need to be conscious of your thoughts anyways, and you just have to, you know, it takes effort. It takes mental energy. But once you're in that habit of spotting negative habits, negative mental habits, not physical ones, we're not talking about physical here. So once you start to notice that, it becomes so much more easy. So much more easy. What? So much easier, pardon me. And you just don't even have to control it anymore, and you will not have to persist and put so much mental energy into that, and it will just become easier and easier and easier to even pull yourself out of negative states of mind and negative situations and memories, and you will stop ruminating, you will stop repeating bad memories on a loop in your head. You will stop doing that. You will be able to concentrate better on the things that you want to do. And another thing that I wanted to say, just stress it enough so that you remember it, is that you should stop associating yourself with negative things. You should stop to associate yourself with the things that you want to get rid of. So for example, let's say you associate yourself with a chronic illness that you have, which is like a physical thing, you cannot deny it, right? Or perhaps you have a mental illness, you have some, I don't know, lack of ability for something, I don't know, anything. But you feel bad every time that you remember that. And you know that this condition that you have, this illness that you have, you know that it makes your life so much more difficult and stressful, and you are constantly in that state of fighting against your own self. If you're in that state of mind, in that case, I want you to just stop associating yourself with that illness, with that condition, with that situation you're in. Don't even put that label on yourself, because you know, people constantly speak about how people put labels on other people, but you're putting labels on your own self. And that's much more powerful, because the world will respond this way. So if I put on myself the label of I don't know how to speak to people, I'm so introverted that I'm incapable of speaking to people, like, of course that will come back to me. Of course I will just project that into reality. But if I say, I'm so amiable, I'm so respectful to people, and people are respectful to me, and we have such amazing relationships with everyone I meet, that starts happening inevitably. And the same thing goes for mental illness, the same thing goes for physical illness. Like, you know, I'm saying some harsh things here, it's harsh love, okay? But I know that you might even get aggressive because I say that. You might be frustrated because you're like, but that's a physical thing, that's a real thing, that's a diagnosis, I can't fight against the diagnosis. No, my darling, you can. You actually can. Because I have, therefore you can as well. And if I have come out of things that were literally mortal many times, you can come out of those things as well, and you can stop attracting those things to yourself. And I see people even associating themselves with things like ADHD or depression or autism or anything like that. I mean, people just get so stuck in those labels that they associate themselves with, that I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Don't you understand that the more you think that you can't concentrate on things properly, you will lose the ability to concentrate on things properly. The more you think that you're unable to do something, you will be more unable to do that. The more I thought that I didn't have the mental capacity to maintain conversations with people, the more I wasn't able to do so. The more I thought that I was depressed and that would be my constant way of living, the more I thought that I was just melancholic and also a hypochondriac. The more I associated myself with those things, the more they kind of stuck to me. And I was feeling worse. I was feeling even more pain, even more phantom pains in my body. I was feeling even more depressed, even sadder. And I was attracting illness. I was attracting breaking relationships, anything. I was attracting things that nobody wants, but I was putting so much mental energy into that. I was putting so much persistence into those thoughts that of course they came into reality. And when I understood that, things started to change around. And now, like, if people tell me like, oh, you seem this and that, I'm like, no, don't put a label on me. When people say, for example, oh, you don't do any sports, that's so bad for you, you need to move more, I'm like, no. That is not bad for my health. That is good for my health, because I walk a lot and that makes me happy. and I do not do physical activity that doesn't make me happy. If I want to do physical activity, I do it. If I don't, I don't. Therefore, my body dictates what I do with it, and therefore, I, listening to the signals of my body, I regulate it and I make it feel good, and the body responds well, and it gets healthier and healthier and healthier. See how that happens? See how that thought pattern is so much more productive than just forcing yourself to do physical activity, sports, whatever, which you don't even like, just for the sakes of being healthy, but you're actually doing it in that situation out of a place of fear, not out of a place of self-love, of self-respect, of respect towards your own body and your own needs. You're doing that out of self-hatred. Perhaps you think that your body is not good enough. Perhaps you think that you're not beautiful. Perhaps you think that you will get unhealthy if you do something or don't do something. Stop having those thoughts. And the amazing thing is that the more you think that you're just tuned into your intuition, your body, your needs, your natural needs that your body kind of gives you signs of, the more you think that you just attuned a well-tuned instrument, just like a violin or a piano, and you just act according to your own needs, and you do that out of a place of self-love and self-respect and respect to your needs and to the signs of your body, what actually starts happening is that bad habits actually start like falling off as something old, something you don't need anymore. When you just affirm positive things about yourself, when you just envision yourself being healthy, even at a very old age, when you envision yourself living many years, being always healthy, and when you stop remembering all the bad things that happened to you in the past and all the bad habits that you have had in the past, all of those remaining bad habits, they just start going away. They get out of your life, out of your system, because your brain, it just subconsciously gets reprogrammed automatically into thinking that, you know, I don't need those bad habits. I don't need that crazy amount of caffeine or sugar or anything. I don't need to just lay on my couch all the time. I can go for walks, I can go to swim, I can go do yoga, I can do whatever I want. And the more you're in that space of I can do whatever I want, and you actually do whatever you want out of a place of self-love and acceptance of where you're at, negative things just start going out of your life. It happens so much quicker than if you would just persist, you know, hating yourself and forcing yourself to do things and to change things. And it, you know, in many ways, this way of thinking has saved my life many times, and it has dragged me out of very dark, negative places. I just encourage you to try that, to just be patient, be kind to yourself, and stop associating yourself with negative labels. Stop thinking that it's you who has those negative habits. Stop thinking that it's you who is unable to do something. Stop thinking that it's you who has the illness. It's not you, it's the past of you. And your past doesn't affect your future. Only the way you decide to live right now determines what will become of you tomorrow, the day after that, a year after that. You can change your entire life right now. And let's do it together. I'm on this path. I'm new to this path. I wasn't this way before. Just about a few weeks ago, I was in a much darker place emotionally. Just a few years ago, I was diagnosed with a deadly illness, but I came out of it. Just about some years ago, I had severe psychological problems that I thought I needed to go on medication, but I didn't. And I'm so happy that I didn't, because I stopped associating myself. I stopped fearing that. I stopped fearing those things happening to me, and they eventually started getting out of my life. And now I'm in a much better place, and I wish you the same. I wish you with all my heart to find your own ways of stepping out of those dark places. I wish you with all my heart to find the strength now, right now, to spot those negative thoughts, those labels that you've put on yourself, and come out of that. And I wish you to be happier, to become happier, to step onto that journey with me, just like I did. And I hope that we will move forward together, making this earth a better place, because the happier you are, the happier people start becoming around you, because you become that source of light that shares all of that goodness with everyone around, and everyone becomes happier. So let's make the world a happier place by starting with ourselves. I love you guys very much. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you will stay with me on this channel. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.